Um, okay, hopefully. Arthur, is that okay that I started recording? Did you guys get the screen that says we are recording? Yes? Okay, great. Okay, so welcome. Really excited to be here. We've been doing this 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 8 a.m. Pacific time. What a delight to see you all. What I'm going to ask is for everybody who feels to share, you are very welcome to share. I'll call you out. Um, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions. One, if you'd like to say your name, where you're located right now, um, and your ancestral roots. So, grandparents, great grandparents, or parents, even if they're not in the same country you were born in. And we've been answering the question, what brings you here? But something that I'm really particularly interested in hearing, because this community is for me in some ways revolutionary and really a sign of what the world needs, which is quite simply people helping people. So I would love to know just a little bit about what brings you here. What has made you want to volunteer? And lastly, if you have a quick ask of the community. So if there's anything in particular you're looking for, I'm thinking this might be an easier way than we're always kind of scrambling to network and so on. So if part of your share will be simply to say, if you're looking for help, if you're looking to connect with other people, whatever your ask may be. So I'll start, and my name is Brenda Kiesel. I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. My ancestral roots are actually part of the reason why I'm here. My grandparents were refugees from Russia, well, actually from Ukraine, which was at the time considered Russia, and Romania and Transylvania. Um, and the reason, you know, I've always been, I am a writer and filmmaker and activist, but the reason why, I guess the biggest reason why I'm here, my grandmother, who is the grandparent that I knew the best from Ukraine, she really hated to speak about her life in Russia before she came over as a refugee. She and much of her immediate family came over, and it was a really rough time. She came over just after the First World War, and she was Jewish, and it was very difficult for the Jews at that time. And I always wanted to know so much about her life and her culture, and she found it too painful to talk about. And so, like 100 years later, 100 plus years later, I find myself here caring very deeply about the Ukrainian people. And I don't even know how to put it into words yet because I don't entirely understand it. It was something that my grandmother didn't want me to uh, be a part of, my ancestral history. And somehow it feels very healing for me to be here. So thank you for listening. Um, Catherine, would you like to go next?
Okay, hi. I'm Catherine Rogers. I'm coming to you from Östering, Götene commune, Sweden. Östering, population 88. Götene, population just under 5,000. Ancestors. All of my family were farmers from just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So my roots are Southern. And so from both sides of my family, English, Scottish, a bit of Irish in there. So I live here. I've been living here in Sweden for 22 years, I think, a little more, 23 maybe. When we had the large influx of refugees from the Middle East and from Africa about 7, 8 years ago, I started working uh, just kind of freely with refugees that came to the area. And that turned into a part-time position with the National Church of Sweden, where they had me come and do art therapy with refugees. And I did that for many years and encountered uh, truly wonderful people, highly traumatized by war and traumatized just by the process of being a refugee. The refugee camps were their own nightmares. The the route to get to Sweden was its own nightmare. So I did a lot of work with the refugees to try and release some of that trauma that was held in the body and to also start looking a little tiny bit forward, next step kind of thing. So when this was happening with Ukraine, I thought, well, I have all of this experience and training now, uh, firsthand training to work with refugees and continue my work with art therapy. So two things have happened since I spoke with you last. First thing, the National Church of Sweden has contacted me again. They're expecting Ukrainian refugees to come into Lidköping, which is a larger town not far from here, where I worked with refugees before. They know my work with refugees. They worked with me for years in the capacity as an art therapist. So they want me to come back with the new wave of refugees coming in and come back and offer art therapy there. The other thing is I just got the newspaper yesterday. You see the Jet in a newspaper. You see it's like 7 pages long. And on the cover here, I just noticed the byline, Färdiga ställer boende för 46 flyktingarna. And what that means is there are new finished apartments for refugees coming to the little town of Götene. 46 of them, they can host 46 people. And so I see the people here and their names are in the article, and I thought I'm going to give them a call and see if they would like me to come there and, just offer some art therapy once or twice a week. Something like that, would be really lovely to do. And I think very helpful for them and also for the children. Art therapy with the children is extremely important as well. So those are two things I have coming up that will hopefully impact the refugees coming to this area.
Catherine, wow. Thank you. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, great work.
The thing is, even when you're in a very small place, you can look around and see if you can do something. That's what I've learned. You don't have to live in a big city. And that's what happens in Sweden. They learned a lot by having the first wave of refugees come. How do we deal with this influx of people? And so now they kind of know how to do this. And they spread the refugees out into all of the smaller places as well. So they're not all concentrated in the big cities. And so they spread out to all of even this little town of Götene. They're spread out, and so that helps. The people in those areas can help these people and assist and support, but it's on a much more one-to-one personal level as well when you spread out like that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for everything you're doing and for sharing with us. It's really exciting to hear this. Very
You're very
inspiring.
welcome.
Daniel, welcome. Your audio is on. Please unmute.
Hello, hi. Yes. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you again. So I'm in Vancouver, Canada. I hope to do as much as Catherine. Um, so my background is in finance. Roots are Russian grandfather, and then we found out part of the family is Ukrainian. I'm looking to help out. We are looking to see how we can sponsor a family. And I really want to see how I can use either my finance or tech skills to help out this group. So far, I've participated in the past, but I'm not, to be honest, too sure how I can follow up to help. Last time I set up a Google Sheet so people could share some contacts. And then my idea was perhaps if it seems like there are people who are going on the front line, and then there are those people who are more trying to help out remotely. And so my idea was to maybe create a forum where people could propose ideas, and then we could vote them up or down to see what can be done for those people who are willing to contribute their time and networks remotely.
Thank you, Daniel. That's great. Are you on the Slack channel?
Nope, sounds like I
Okay.
should be.
Yes, yes, because there's,
Okay,
there's already a community
doing
channel
all.
on Slack. So
Okay.
it's not everybody is there. If some of you here have joined, have volunteered recently, please, see if you can get onto the Slack channel. I'm not actually sure what the process is. Somebody has written here. Okay, so if anybody has any questions or action items, right, let's capture them in the meeting notes. So if you see that, you can go right, you can just click, look into the chat, the last message that was put up for everybody. There's a link there, and right, you just go there and you can put in your questions. Yeah, because I think, communicating amongst us, this forum here live seems to be the most direct way, but there's so much more we can be doing if we had some kind of forum. Uh, Daniel, anything else?
Nope, I can see somebody else in the chat just asking the Slack channel name. So if somebody could
Perfect.
just post that, I guess. Thanks.
Perfect. If you have your audio on, please mute unless you're speaking. Thank you. Okay, so just as a reminder for some people who have just popped in, your name, where you are located, what are your ancestral roots, and what brings you here? Why were you motivated to volunteer? Really love to hear your story. Uh, please, okay, sorry. Okay, audio is all off. Great. Jonathan, for the first time, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ever since the war started, I became very concerned and distraught with what's going on. So, by the way, I'm Jonathan Shapiro, and I live in Kingsbury, Texas, which is 50 miles south of Austin. And my ancestral roots are, Russian Empire. My grandfather came over, Jewish roots, and he was born in the Ukraine at that time. So I never knew him, but that's the background. And when the war started, for some reason, something clicked with me, and I couldn't sit around watching this. And so I'm planning on going over to the Ukraine next month to volunteer for a month or two. So that's my intention, and I'm trying to set it up now. And I discovered this group, and so I'm just trying to learn more.
Great to have you here, Jonathan. Do you have anything you might like to ask the community? Is there any contacts in Ukraine? Any particular questions?
Yes. I mean, I'm really not sure what questions to ask yet. I know I'm getting up accommodations set up. I know who I'll be reporting to, I believe. I'll be working at a train station in Lviv. And I guess just maybe English-speaking contacts that might be helpful if I needed to ask some questions and there was no one available. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay, maybe can you put your email address in the chat with that request would be fantastic.
Sure. Also, the other thing I thought of, if people know of reasonable cost accommodations, I know they're looking into that for me as well. But if anyone knows someone who wants to rent out a bed or a room, I'd be open to that as well.
Thank you so much. I don't know about you guys, but I find it incredibly moving how many people just have the impulse to go and to be there to help. Now let this concept spread not only all through this horrible time, but through all challenges all over the world where people are suffering and need our help. Curtis, welcome.
Thank you, Brenda. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Curtis Coleman. I am currently living in the Tri-Cities area of Tennessee, Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City area. My heritage background is Polish and Russian. Grandparents and great-grandparents came over during the pogroms, and I moved just by humanity and also an abundance of opportunity that I have that I can help. And I'm a little bit frustrated because I live in my world where there's a lot of straight lines, and I do a little waffling this way, but I've signed up on every single website. I have a big, huge, beautiful home. I would love to host up to 2 families. I can help support people when they come to the United States. I'm not interested in going to Ukraine, but helping out financially in different ways. I already am, and donating to a couple of different foundations that are funneling money directly. I recently, my company was acquired in 2020, and I am retired early, and I have the means that I can help if families are coming here. I was very excited the other day with the announcement that the U.S. was opening up to refugees and streamlining that process. The thing that I'm having a question about is I'm wondering if there is a big effort for technology for refugees, even going as far as Poland. If somebody has a cell phone, it's not necessarily going to work where they go. And I'm going onto sites where it says, put in your information and then refugees will be able to find you. Well, they can't find you if they don't have technology, and they can't look you up.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, this is like low-hanging fruit. And so the idea of being able to put local technology into the hands of refugees as they're coming across the border so that they can get a hold and search. I mean, I've got my listing in the Airbnb. I mean, I have this like insane house and vehicle for a family to be able to get around, opportunity for work. I will even help them and feed them, during a time of transition. And I'm here to help. And so while I love being in the conversation, and this is wonderful in community, I'm very eager to
make it actionable.
Nobody wants to be a refugee. Being a refugee is not a cool thing, right? Especially, and ask any of the people who are crossing the border. They want a home and they want to get in them now. And so this conversation that we're having, I understand that we're trying to get there. I'm just trying to figure out how those people that are coming to the United States know about my home or your home or any other home. So that's
and Curtis, if I may interrupt you, we're actively working on the U.S. resettlement efforts. Unfortunately, it's a chaos to the extent of even agencies that are supposed to deal with it and NGOs that were hired by U.S. government to deal with it are clueless about what's going to happen. So that's unfortunately, the reality, because no system was prepared for it. No company or organization was prepared for it. And honestly, it's currently in the hands of private companies that are doing their best. And hearing your story, I only aspire to be like you one day, have a liquidity event and be fortunate enough to be able to help so many people. And, I think, send me an email. I sent you my email, arthur@ukrainenow.org. And let's connect, because I believe that people like you will benefit from connecting to our case management system. Basically, when people come to, for example, Mexico City right now, and they're in the hopes of crossing to United States, and the border is closed right now, that's it. They're stuck in there. And what we're doing, we're connecting them with our case managers or family handlers, and they're assessing their needs. They're assessing the needs and tracking their well-being. And basically, it's their job to find resources like you to be able to pass on the let's call it responsibility, if you will, to take care of these families. We are booking Airbnbs, booking.coms, we are booking, Uber rides and things like that for them. But there's going to be 100,000 Ukrainians coming to US. And for right now, they will be at the mercy of Americans like you. There won't be any streamlined governmental efforts for now, probably for a month, just because of how slow governments move. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I appreciate it. And I'm not expecting, I'm expecting exactly what you said, but so it's out of my mouth now. So I come to a place like this so that I can meet somebody like you that can jot me into a little book. And then when
That's
you
how
are
it works.
when you're closer to the event, then you say, aha, we have a resource right here. And then in my circles, I have hundreds
Let
of
me
people
ask
that I
even
can
more
then
actionable.
funnel them, directly to you. And so there's so many people that that are willing and that can help.
And just because we try to not to make this operational call and not to discuss many initiatives, but let's make it actionable. We have a single mom with 3 kids and a dog in LA, living in a mobile home with their brother, and they have no space to live. If you can help us solve that need, this week, that'll be huge.
Yeah. So let me speak for a moment, and then please write this down so that I don't have to send an email.
It's recorded. Yeah.
So
all good.
This Our Village is the website that I was the founder of that got acquired by Thor Industries, which is a $7 billion company. And what Our Village is it's the internet's largest social network for RVers, people that own recreational vehicles.
Wow.
So there are hundreds of thousands of them. And there is, it's like Facebook for RVers, but it's location aware. Right. So RVers can go to Austin, Texas, for instance, and they can say, oh, I'm in Austin and set their location. Then any other RVer within that area that they've set will get notified that somebody new has arrived in the area. Right. So there are groups and that sort of thing. So while Facebook is kind of more interest-based than location-based. People don't like using the location function because they don't want to be that connected to people they don't know. It's deeply private. Our Village is different. The other thing to please note is that there have been many instances of the fires in California, all different things where these RVers have deployed and their recreational vehicles, which is a home. It's got a kitchen, it's got a bathroom, it's got bedrooms, it has the beds for the children. They don't have to drive around. It can sit in the driveway. It's not being used, and it brings autonomy to a family that's looking for a little bit of privacy as well. So there are thousands of these people. We have on Our Village over close to 700,000 users, and so I can put you directly in touch with. Now that I've kind of left, but I'm the founder, I can put you directly in touch with.
Let's do it. Send me your email here in the chat, and I'll connect with you. We'll sign MOU and start helping people.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. I'm going to mute myself now. Thanks again.
What's your URL again? The address of the company?
To ourvillage.com.
RSR or our?
No, our
Our village.
Like the letter, so like RV Village, except without the extra V's.
Oh,
Get it?
RV Village. Got it. Yeah, RV
No,
Village.
it's not RV Village. It's
Our village. Got it.
our village, like
Our
our
village.
village, right? But it's RV.
Thank
right?
you.
It's capital R, capital V, small illage. Right. There you go. Yeah. Thank you.
Curtis,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is, this community is mind and heart blowing. Okay, somebody else had their hand up, but there's no name, so I can't call you back. Can't call you up. That's Frank? Is that Frank?
It isn't fake. I just couldn't figure out how to not do that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello.
Hi there.
Could you show your video, please? Frank, we'll go to you
Sure.
next.
Hi,
Hi.
Leslie McGovern is my name. Did you want me to, how do I get rid of that?
How do you get rid of the hand?
Yeah.
I maybe click it again, might get rid of it.
All right.
So
We'll get that.
what we're asking everybody is a quick hello, name, where you are located, what your ancestral roots are, what brings you here,
Right.
why are you compelled to volunteer, and if you have an ask for the community.
Okay, great. So I'm Leslie McGovern. I'm currently in Seattle, Washington in the US. And my background is Jewish, Catholic, Yugoslavian, Irish, little bit of French mixed in between. And our family managed to leave after World War I and World War II, and we're survivors of both. So Ukraine, my Yugoslavian mother used to always tell me, Ukraine always gets caught in the crossfire with every empire that wants to own its land, and always had a great concern for them. I am currently married to my partner, who is Peter Martinovich. He's right here.
Hello.
And he'll tell you his background in a minute. So the interest that we have is to see what we can do to help. Obviously, this is a big concern as a body humanity, not to mention for the Ukrainian people. This is affecting all of us very, very deeply. The trauma is really intense, and we understand what that's about, both from our families, but also in the work that we've done. So we're actually putting together a website to draw together all sorts of therapists from around the world who can be available and connect them to people who need to have coaching, advising, counseling, whatever thing. So that's one thing that we're able to do. And so my interest is in being able to contribute in whatever way that I can. Okay.
Wonderful. Mental health, huge issue.
Yeah, here's Peter.
Yeah, I'm Ukrainian background. My father was an immigrant from the Ukraine here, and talked a lot about what was happening there, and the difficult relationship with Russia. For a lot of time, he was even put in prison because he was Ukrainian, and he happened to be an athlete competing for the Polish university, because that's where he was allowed to go to school. They actually forbid people to go, even use their own language. So I have a lot of background in it. I want to help. I'm a psychotherapist, but also a trainer and a coach. And I'm trying to figure out that we are putting this website together to get therapists involved to help, that would volunteer at least a couple hours a week. We'll volunteer, obviously, but we're also thinking about possibly myself, I'm possibly going to go there at some point. And, I have family in Lviv, so I'm sending them money and things like that, but I want to do more than that. And so I'm trying to figure out how all the things I could do from here and for the time being, but eventually probably go there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been in touch with some of the women there who are getting stories from the women who have been captive, who've been raped, who've been, all the different things that we've been horrifyingly hearing about. So we've figured out a way to have some in-country contact as well.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your service.
Oh, sure.
Wow. Okay, Akash, I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yes,
Hello,
hi.
welcome. So nice to see you.
Thanks for the welcome. My name is Akash Gupta. I'm from India in Mumbai. The reason for me was is that I think like basically as Indians, like the Indian government has a different stance towards the Ukrainian conflict, and they have want to be more neutral because of some political conditions. But I think that is a wrong stance that we are taking. Uh, this aggression by Putin in Ukraine has repercussions everywhere. It's a simple kind of it's someone like it's like a bully in a high school who wants to just come and take it away. It's that. But being in India, I understand that I cannot do much about this. So I've just signed up. I signed up to the Slack channel in UkraineNow, but I don't think I have access right now. So, but yeah, I'm trying to see if there are other NGOs out there like Tech to the Rescue and Tech to Ukraine. I think they have another service. So I just signed up out there. I'm a data scientist by profession, and I run my own consultancy firm out of here. And yeah, full power to you people out there who are doing such awesome work. It's really great to hear about whatever the work that has been done over here by you, by Arthur, all the stuff that he has been doing. I know him since the the Corona Y project that he had started. And it's really awesome.
Isn't
Thank
it?
you so much, Akash, and so happy to see you.
See you.
It's wonderful to have you with us, Akash. Thank you. Very moving. Okay, Frank. Yes, Frank. You're on mute, Frank.
Mute my audio. Good morning. Good morning. I was with you a couple of days ago on Monday. My family, both of my parents who are now dead, emigrated from Germany. My mother in 1934, and my father in 1930. They had family here, and they were able to get sponsored. My father's father had been a country doctor living outside of Baden-Oos. He was 70 years old with a health condition. And my father was here. My uncle was in England, and their sister was also in England. And they kept telling him to leave. And he said, who's going to bother, a retired old man who's just trying to live out his life? And in 1940, they came into Baden-Oos and rounded up people, including him, put him in a boxcar and sent him to the concentration camp in Gurs in the foothills of the Pyrenees. And he lasted 2 weeks. And we have a report that was, regardless, we know what happened to him. And it makes me passionate beyond what I can describe in terms of wanting to be in Ukraine, trying to make a difference. And I've been making every effort I can, trying to make every contact. And I've made a lot of contacts, but I keep finding people being, and somebody once said to me, Ukrainians and Russians are very circumspect. They don't trust anybody. You have to really have a kind of an inside connection. I am working with a group here I'm outside of Philadelphia, by the way, but 5 minutes from the border. But I am working with a group in Jenkintown called the Ukrainian Educational and Cultural Center, where one of their organizations has been monumentally successful in accepting medical and humanitarian materials. And they've shipped as of last week, they'd shipped over 13,000 cartons, and they have a huge network. But the parent organization is sorry, the parent organization wants them sort of off campus. So I'm very actively helping them set up their nonprofit corporation. They seem to have found a rental space on their own, but I had people working on that, and I have a connection because I've worked with other nonprofits before, and I'm setting up the insurance with it. So that's just that effort can carry itself. I have a passport. I have the wherewithal to get anywhere in the world, and I have a cultivate. My wife's, finally ready to let me go to Ukraine. Not completely let me go. We've been at it 53 years. Doesn't look like it's going to end now. But I'm 75 years old, and I think that's giving some people some problem. But I'm a healthy guy. And I can drive it. I can drive anything. I can back a trailer. I have a lot of skills. I've submitted my application recently to UkraineNow. I had a little trouble getting that in, but I'm ready to go. I just can't find anyone who'll accept me. I'm sorry. So that's where I need some help.
Hey, and Frank, honestly, if I may jump in and say we're so thankful for people like you. And, it's in Ukraine, people think that people after 60 years old, they're like already, too old just because the life expectancy in Eastern Europe is way lower than America. I'm originally from Ukraine, and I can just, give you that cultural context, right? Because here in US, when I see people your age being active, traveling, enjoying life, that's not a thing in in Ukraine. That's why you may be faced with some bias, subconscious bias. But I would recommend. I hear your passion to desire to be on the ground, but maybe there is some skills, your professional skills, that you would be able to help us remotely, organizationally, and that's something that I would love to speak more about. If you want to send me an email, I'll text you an email and let's speak about it. Thank you.
I started a cabinet maker's apprenticeship in 1969, and learned my trade formally, and then went out in the field as a carpenter. I spent a few years as a carpenter. I've been a foreman. I've been a superintendent. I've been a project manager. I've managed money in big companies. I've done almost. I had a consulting business with one of the largest pharmaceutical companies that's based here in Philadelphia in England, and I was managing construction on interior construction. My specific expertise is interior construction. I can handle every aspect of it.
Oh, believe me, you will be much needed in U.S. resettlement efforts when the 100,000 Ukrainians come to U.S.
But I also, I'm still physically active. I just finished building a shed base for somebody, which entailed, handling some heavy timbers and.
Are you ready to build some cabins?
What's that? I've been at it. I still have a piece of a shop, but I haven't. I'm not most cost effective building cabinetry, only because I've been out of the shop and the technology has changed. But I'm certainly a capable cabinet maker, and I have a partner who still has.
I mean cabins.
What's that?
Cabins, sheds, and like temporary housing.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. I mean, I was trying to do that with my granddaughters to teach them the trade, but no, that kind of stuff. I can build sheds. I can do interior fit. I mean, I've built buildings. But it's not my strongest suit. But interior finish, believe me, I can do anything. And the inside, I can build drywall. I can build.
So happy to connect. Just not to take up anyone other's time, but send your email in a chat, and let's connect.
Okay. Yeah, I filled in your UkraineNow application. It took me a few efforts, but I sent it in again yesterday.
What's your last name? That way I'll find.
B as in boy, AER, Frank Bayer.
Got it. All right.
But I'm going to send it. You want me to send it to you now on the chat?
Sure. If you can, that'll be great. Thank you.
Brenda, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for giving me my moment and my moment to put my goals out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much. You warm my heart, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Thank you. Lilia.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. My name is Lilia, and I am currently based in Los Angeles. I was born and raised in Ukraine. I came here as a Jewish refugee in 1996. I've been living in Los Angeles ever since. And my mom is Jewish, and her family lived in Ukraine for hundreds of years. My dad was a Russian who was born and raised in Russia, but spent majority of his life in Ukraine. And unfortunately, he passed a long time ago, but he was supportive of Ukrainian independence way back when Ukraine became independent. And anyway, so I've been involved a little bit with volunteering at the Mexican border. Last week, I spent a couple of days there on American side, helping Ukrainian refugees who crossed from Mexico. And now that this Mexican border is closed, I would like to continue volunteering with, some other, in some other capacity with, other events and stuff. I think
Come
I did.
to our fundraiser in LA, please. We have a fundraiser in 3 days, April 30th. Please
Right.
come.
Yeah, there is something on Saturday, the dance competition, I believe.
Exactly. Dance for Ukraine.
I believe I expressed my desire volunteering, and I got text saying I need to submit application through the site, but I think I already submitted it when I signed up for volunteering at the Ukrainian border. So I don't exactly know what are my other choices right now, because I think I already submitted it. And what are my other actions after all that? I really don't have any directions right now to what I should do regarding Saturday.
Right. So I do see your application. You've been approved. So again, we're all volunteers. So expect some disjointed coordination. I would reach back out to people that communicated with you and tell them that you spoke with us and you're still willing to volunteer, and we'll be more than happy to have you there and meet you in person.
Thank you. Yeah, and I am also trying to sponsor my family members to come here from Ukraine. I have a niece. My niece with her 2 children that are currently in Poland after they left Kiev. Their dad and their husband is still in Kiev because he's unable to leave. And so I'm trying to, figure out all these nuances, how to fill out these forms, and they're not easy. I could tell you that. There's certainly some questions that I'm not sure how to answer on these forms, or, they're quite vague.
They don't make it easy. They don't make it easy.
They're
Thank you,
quite
Lily.
vague.
Thank you,
Thank
Lily.
you.
It's so great to have you here, and I really hope that you go to the event, that you help volunteer, you dance, and you bring back stories of how wonderful it was and how much money was raised
I'm planning
through
to.
this event.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Misha.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess I didn't know what to expect here. So I guess I'm mostly here to really express my admiration and appreciation of all of you folks, of what you're trying to do and you're doing. Because for me, I don't really need any extra motivation. I was born in Odessa, been here for 30 years. I'm in California, right? Apparently, Lily and I were at the same place several weeks ago. I went to Tijuana twice, but I was on the Mexican side. And I got to tell you guys, from what I saw on that volunteering opportunity and others, it's a chaos, but it's a process for the order to take over the chaos, right? So everybody who commented on the fact that no government or non-governmental organization really took responsibility for the influx of refugees, they all are correct. And it was pretty amazing to see what happened in Tijuana and in San Diego in just a span of a single month, and how a complete disorganization became an organization. And then guess what? It's done. So can you imagine how frustrated the people who were building step by step, day by day, that particular system? And yeah, I've seen a lot of people frustrated because there was a lot of apparently need for help, and yet you had to look for things to do in order to be able to contribute. And that's probably my main message for you guys. Stay patient as much as you can, stay flexible as much as you can, and look for the opportunities to contribute, because your desire is amazing. When I'm telling my people on that side, like in Ukraine, stories and send the videos about how you guys, by you I mean Americans or folks in other countries, how you relate to this and how genuine and emotional you are about this, they don't believe that. They didn't expect that. So with my family, we started the drive for the humanitarian help on like day 4 of this event, and we were expecting a couple of boxes that we would ship, pay for, and just send to Ukraine. What we ended up is several weeks of a non-stop, exhausting effort, and we sent probably 8 or 9 trucks to Ukraine, just our family alone, with the help of our neighbors. A lot of them of Ukrainian and Russian-speaking origin, but a lot of them without any Ukrainian origin whatsoever. Moreover, people were handing us money, just like that. Pay for shipping, pay for whatever. So I'm really amazed at what you guys do, but I also feel a little bit sorry for the inevitable frustration that you're going to experience. Because Curtis, you're offering your beautiful house and RVs. The fact of the matter is there are probably more volunteers right now than refugees who can take advantage of this, because a lot of refugees also coming to someone. Very few families actually coming into the void, right?
Oh,
But
actually, Misha,
yeah,
that was a thing at the beginning of Tijuana crisis, let's call it, but then it shifted. So many families were coming into nothing.
well, then I'm really hoping that every Kurdish will find its own grateful Ukrainian family, because it seemed like crap. I'm trying, I'm offering. What else do you want from me? But we're living in a huge country, and moreover in a huge world, and the world is more and more in a disarray. Stay flexible, stay positive, and I thank you all. And by the way, just like you, I'm constantly looking for the opportunities to help, which is why I am here. I don't need any extra motivation. I'm blaming myself for not doing anything when I'm not doing anything. Thank you all.
And Misha, I connected with you on LinkedIn. We need people like you, Director of Engineering, help us with some things on the engineering side.
You bet.
So let's talk then.
Misha, very quickly, I just want to tell you, personally, I mean, having a host say thank you very much is wonderful, and it's genuine. Authentically, I want to say I feel honored to be in this conversation with you, and thank you very much for what you just put out there.
Likewise.
Just want to take a moment to take that in. Misha, thank you so much for everything that you said. So deeply relevant and important for us to hear. As I say over and over and over, what we're doing here at UkraineNow is a roadmap for the people of the world to show us how we can come together and help each other. Okay, Samim, would you like to share with us?
Hello. Let me see if I can turn on my camera.
Thank you.
I'm home today.
Yes.
I'm just delighted to be here and listening to the stories. And the question that you asked about heritage and what is our background, I have a very mixed heritage. So I would say my mother was born in the Middle East, so I can say I'm from Yemen. Her mother was born in Azerbaijan, so she's Turkish background. Her father was born in Iraq, so that's from Arabic background. My father in Iran. So you see, I'm a multinational person. So that's what gives me how can I say, the feeling that everybody belongs to everybody. Like we're not any different. We are the same. Doesn't matter how many different bloods you have. At the end of the day, we are all the same. And if you don't feel sad when you see something like this happens in the world, there's something wrong with you. It's our obligation to do something. It's not that, oh, I'm doing it because I'm a good person. It's an obligation, because if we don't do something when it's wrong, then when something wrong happens to us, we should not expect others to do anything. So that's my take, and that's why I'm here, because I believe we are all obligated to be here. That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Samim. Always just such a joy to have you with us. Samim also has created an organization. Maybe you want to just tell us about Centigrad just for a minute.
So Centigram, it's really about giving. So I believe that one of the most beautiful things a person can do in their life is to give. Since the moment we are born, or our children are born, we're just giving, right? Giving is part of life and love. And Centigram is about ability to give beyond borders. So if you want to give help, you want to send gifts to someone around the world, you can do it with Centigram without any fees or restrictions of financial systems. So I would encourage everyone to take a look at our website, is centigram.io. All the information is there. Our app is available in the App Store and Play Store. And when you download it, you will see all the functions of the app. And for Ukraine, we are really working around the clock to get some companies on board. So anyone can send gifts to anyone in Ukraine to use those gift cards in the stores in the Ukraine. So that's the quick summary of what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Samim. Maybe you want to put the link to your website or to the app in the chat would be great. Yes, Alex, you just asked the same question.
I will do. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Samim. Erica, hello.
Hi, hold on 1 second. I want to get to a quiet spot.
So good to have you with us again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here. My name's Erica. I'm in Northern California. Sorry, the reason why I'm here is because I, like everyone else, felt compelled to do something, anything. I spent some time in Ukraine volunteering with a Ukrainian NGO with children that lived on the street. Started in 2010 and went back in 2013. And I felt like my time there really was a transformative experience for me personally. It really made me feel like I had more to offer the world. And at the time, I felt like I had no tangible skills. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, kind of imposter syndrome. You show up and you want to volunteer and you're like, okay, I'm here. What can I do? And I remember the first question they asked me was, I just kind of showed up. They're like, okay, what can you do? I was like, okay, what can I do? I don't know. I mean, I guess I speak English. I went to a really good university. I don't know. What do you want me to do? They're like, well, why don't you go in the kitchen and peel carrots? I was like, okay, I will do anything, sure. Then they give me a knife and they're like, all right, go ahead and start peeling. I was like, I don't really know how to peel carrots with a knife. Oh my God, everyone here is really intimidating. I found my way, but ultimately decided that I wanted to go back to school. And I saw that there was a huge need for healthcare in the world, especially with at-risk populations here in the United States as well as abroad. So I went to school to practice medicine. I'm a physician assistant. I practice family medicine. And with all of what's going on in Ukraine, I really, really want to do something. My best friend just got back from the border of Poland. So I'm trying to extend a trip in May where I will be out there for a wedding, trying to extend that trip so that I can join him again on the border in Poland. So I can do something, hopefully help with some small medical outreach. I'm sure that there's a need for that, but I'm still working on that. And my family would really like to help sponsor someone. We maybe don't have as big or a financial net as some of the other folks who have spoken, but it is something that, we would hope to, throw out there, that we have an extra bedroom in our house. And if there's a small family that needs help, we're here just like everyone else that, really wants to do something. So that's just me. That's who I am. My ethnic background, my dad was born in Guatemala. My mom's family was from Mexico. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of confusing ethnicities because I, was born in the United States, speak Spanish culturally, from Latin America, but found Eastern Europe very interesting. So that's what I studied in undergraduate. And yeah, that's who I am. So if anyone knows any people who are doing some medical stuff on the border, I would love to get in touch with them.
I actually have a quick question to you, Erica. Message me on Slack because we're equipping a medical ambulance bus in Ukraine, and people that are doing it need questions like what should be in that bus for paramedics and stuff like that. So message me about that. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be perfect. And I would be happy to figure out what it is I can help and, try to do some independent fundraising specifically for medical supplies. And so that's me. Thank you, Arthur. I will definitely email you.
Erica, I could listen to you talk for a long time. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do and for who you are and for your huge heart. Fantastic. Thank you. Atusa, is that the right way to pronounce your name? Welcome.
Perfect.
To have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. My ethnicity, I am 100% Persian from Iran.
Sorry, Atusa, your volume, I don't know if other people are hearing her volume distort, please give me a thumb. Okay, could you lower your volume in the settings of Zoom? Is that possible?
Is that any better?
No.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay. So we can maybe just take a moment here to just take this in. As I've said repeatedly, I read this article and somebody had commented on the article and they had said, can kindness become a provocative force that motivates people to communal action? And I am feeling a lot of kindness here. Atusa.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. As far as ethnicity goes, I am 100% Persian from Iran. And I'm a member of the Baha'i religion, which the reason I say that is because we, as many people know, were persecuted and had to flee Iran. So very different circumstances, not as violent as what Ukrainians are going through, but we had to flee and we are refugees here as well. So knowing what it's like to go through that process to some extent, I was a very little child, but still remember most of it. I remember the men in the streets with the rifles and the guns. I want to help, and so does the Baha'i community here in San Diego. So anything we can do, we've been looking and trying to figure out what we can do. I reached out to the church that was helping at the border and was waiting for some instruction from them. I also went to the Ukraine Takes Shelter site and listed myself as a host family, and did have the opportunity to help a man that came here from Nebraska to retrieve some family members at the border, and we got to help them and interact with them. But we just want to help. So I don't know what opportunities are out there. I did fill out the UkraineNow application, and I love how extensive it was. I love that you guys vet people out to that extent. That's awesome. Anything we can do, please. I'll put my email and my phone number in the chat for everyone. If there are any opportunities, I live in San Diego. So if there are any opportunities here, if the border opens up again, or even now, if there are people on the on the Tijuana side or trying to get across that are in limbo, if we can help, just sign me up, let me know what to do. And I have several people waiting for me to come back to them with what we can do. What you guys are doing is amazing. I'm just, there are no words. And it's so hard to sit here and watch the news and feel so helpless. Like there's nothing we can do, and these people need help, these children, families, everyone. So anything we can do, I mean, it might be even for selfish reasons, it'll make me feel better, but I want to help.
Thank you so much. Fantastic to have you here. I didn't mention at the beginning of this call that I'm the founder of a human and media platform called The Village. And this was not in the plans. We haven't launched yet, but we are going to launch in partnership with UkraineNow a project called Hearts of Ukraine. And a way to share not only the hearts and human stories of Ukrainians, but really to highlight you guys, all the volunteers, all of us who are doing everything that we can to be of service to others. And for me, that's just the huge, huge story for the rest of the world. So great to have you here and feel your inspiration. Julie, would you like to say a few words? Julie, are you there? Okay, you can't. Okay. Martina, would you like to share?
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. I'm from Germany. I'm living near Munich. And I wrote something down because my English is not so good. I came across you right at the beginning, but didn't have the opportunity to attend a meeting till now. 2 days after the war began, a private initiative, in English, initiative, was formed here, and we drove to Lublin in Poland every other day for the first few weeks to deliver relief supplies. At the moment, we have the opportunity from MAN to send a 40-ton truck to Poland every week, but the willingness to donate has decreased considerably. MAN provides the truck, the drivers, and pays for the fuel. At the moment, we buy a lot of things from donations. In the meantime, there's also an old-fashioned store where refugees can get clothes and food. The organization is a bit chaotic, but always helpful, I think. And I couldn't write down more till now. And I tried to contact, the contact to you I got right in the beginning, and because I felt so much the need to help somehow, yes. And that's how it's worked out the last weeks.
Thank you, Martina. That was beautiful and inspiring. Thank you for everything you're doing.
And the woman before the last woman, sorry, I can't remember her name now. She's traveling to Poland. Did I get this right?
That was me, Erica.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Erica,
to.
of course. Yeah, because Humanity First at the borders is looking for helpers too, quite urgently.
They're called Humanity First, is that right?
They are called Humanity First, yes.
Okay, I will look into them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Thank
that,
you.
Martina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fabulous. Rob, welcome. Your audio is off. Rob, would you like to say a few words?
Can
No
you hear me?
pressure. Yes.
You can. How are you? Rob Spieler, upstate New York by Albany, USA. My heritage is Ashkenazi Jewish, and as with most Jewish organizations, we just help everybody. So I'm getting ready to go over to Krakow on the 11th and head down to the border sometime around the 14th of May. And I've been in contact with a whole bunch of different organizations that are interested in having me go down. Listed my qualifications of being a 40-year mechanic, able to drive heavy equipment of most types, and otherwise just helping out, with anything logistically, anything that can be done. I have no problem with going into the Ukraine to deliver supplies, bring people out. Was a participant in 9/11. That's really where I got the bug in me. And one thing that I found as I'm seeing on this group and with a lot of people is that people are just at their best when things are at their worst. So I saw that on 9/11, and I just want to participate in that kind of thing. I'm old enough now at the point where I'm approaching retirement, pretty well funded. So, I just want to give back to the world and, do what's right here. But I'll be over there. I just texted my email address, and anybody wants to get in touch with me in Krakow between the 11th and the 14th, feel free. Maybe we can get together, get something going, or participate along in the contacts I've made over there, yo.
Rob, thank you. Wow, amazing. There are two people who are usually here, Kat and Asher. So if you could try to come back to another, or put your email up in the chat. I'm sorry, I think you said you did that? You put your email in the chat?
It's in the chat, and there it is right there. If that's
Okay.
coming through, not in the mirror.
I'll try to get to it. But if not, come back either Saturday, same time, or next Monday or Wednesday. They're usually here, and they can probably really help set you up in Poland.
Sounds great. Yeah, I just took leave from my job for a couple of months. So yeah, I'm ready to go at anybody's disposal. You got it.
Thank you. Your words and your message are beautiful, and I would love to use that for Hearts of Ukraine. Really beautiful.
You do that up. Thank you.
Okay, Kelly. Then we'll finish off with Kelly and Alex are left. Kelly.
Hello. I'm Kelly. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Is it possible to put on your video?
Yeah, but I was just exercising, so I'd rather not, because I'm quite sweaty at the moment.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I've been in Krakow for about 6 weeks. I spend my mornings and afternoons volunteering, and in the evening and nights I interview people, write stories, connect with some families. Yesterday, one of my favorites, a 16-year-old Ukrainian who I've come very close with, and his mom came over, and we did like a language practice. So it was quite a nice evening. I don't know what else to say at the moment. My heritage, is that the question of the day?
Sure. Yes.
Well, my paternal side is Mennonite German, and I guess my grandpa's great-grandpa came over to the US in the 1870s from Ukraine. They were there for a couple hundred years farming. And then when the government asked them to start sending the boys into conscription, military conscription, they said, no, thanks. We'll find somewhere else to live. So they came to the US, and I mean, all over the Americas, as their communities.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Always
Thank
great.
you.
Always great to have you here.
Mhm.
And now, I don't know if it's the same 16-year-old Ukrainian that you met in Poland, Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Alex.
Yay.
We've
I'm
become
not
very
that guy,
close.
but I appreciate that you help people in Poland. So yeah, basically about me, I'm Alex as well. I'm 16 as well as the guy you've been teaching, but I'm not that
Strange.
Alex. So basically, I come from Ukraine. My heritage is fully Ukrainian, and I had to flee Ukraine after the war had started. And right now I'm located in Poland, in Warsaw. I'm a designer, also a developer. I do automation, like bots, and also I do 3D and 2D design, which is the thing I usually help people with. So if you need anything like that, including translation, you can reach out to me. I'm gonna put my email in the chat after I speak here. Yeah, thanks for listening. I guess that's everything.
Alex, thank you so much. Always so fantastic having you with us every single time. I wonder how you're doing. How you're coping with your new reality.
I would say I'm glad that we could, find a normal place to stay in. I would say that it's it's really good as I would say. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I can judge it or anything like that, or say if it's good or bad, but if you compare it to other situation, I think it's decent, really. Concerning like mental thing, I think it's not bad as well. I would say everybody here can cope with the situation, and we pray for Ukraine every. I don't know how everybody else, but I do that every day. Yeah, so we have like 2 families here living in this place, and we got to know each other. It's great, and I'm not complaining at all, really. I'm thankful for everything.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. So just beautiful to have you here. Okay, well, you guys, you're amazing. You're rock stars. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your huge hearts, for your generosity, for your drive to help others and to help make our very exhausted, ailing world a better place. You inspire me and you uplift me and you illuminate me. And I hope to see many of you, all of you, on Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 Eastern. Thank you so much and have a good day. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate
Good
it.
to meet all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Good meeting you.
Good luck, everyone.
See you soon, Brenda. Bye.
See you very soon, Samim. Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for being here. It's delightful to have you and Peter.
Thank you.